I believe we're on number 5. I think I've got 11 of these things. 11 big, huge topics of part 3s, 4s, and 5s. Well, one of them is miscellaneous, and it's got a whole bunch of them. That's going to be a very long video. This one's going to be kind of long as well. If you want to download these and try these on your own to just fly through and see if you got them right, that'd be cool. Some of them are pretty easy, some of them aren't so easy. So let's just get ready to roll because it's going to be kind of a long problem. By the way, if you can't find this stuff, you want to find this stuff, just go to my website, mrkrausemath.com, click on home. Here you can get my flashcards. Here's directions on how to get my flashcards. Very simple. All the Regents review stuff for Trig is right here. And if you know anybody needs Common Core Algebra 1, that's there as well. But it's all there ready for you, okay? Let's get going because it's going to be a long one, like I said. Let's do this. Menu, clear the history, go to the channel. We're going to be in our statistics mode quite a bit. Let's get out of all this. All right, here we go. Let's get rolling. So the first question is determine which set of data has a stronger linear relationship. You're looking for the correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient is the R on the calculator. That's what we're looking for. So we got to put these babies into our calculator and check out the R value. So I'll do that real quick. Hopefully I do this real quick. I need an X. I need a Y. We're going to need 2 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The hardest part about this whole stuff is just typing these in. 24, 30, 36, 51, 70, and 86. So to this, what I need to do is I need to do some linear regression. So I go to Menu, Statistics, Stat Calculations, and I want linear regression. Don't use this AX plus B. That's just use MX plus B. We call our X list X. Notice it's asking for 2 lists because we are now doing regression. So that's 2 lists of stuff. And we just click OK. So the R value here for this one is really high. It's 0.97. Not that this is the variance. We don't want the variance. We want the correlation coefficient. Oh, it's not the variance. Sorry. Think of something else. We want the correlation coefficient. So it's 0.97637. So R equals 0.97637. So now we have to do this one, which is a slightly different group, but since it's got still the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm just going to keep those in there. 81, 64, 49. Notice this is coming down, so this is going to have a negative correlation. And if we look down here, oops, yeah, there it is. Correlation coefficient is negative 0.9937. So R equals negative 0.9937. So the question says determine which has a stronger linear relationship. So you have to say set B has a stronger linear relationship since the correlation coefficient is closer to -1 than set A is to +1. Now remember, correlation coefficient is strongest at either 1 or -1. And a lot of people wanted to pick this one because it's positive, but this one was closer to -1. So the answer was 1. I want to apologize in advance. This is actually a 4-point question. So this was actually a 4-point question. It was not a 2-point question. So, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't have that many to do. So we're going to do this one, and we got to get to our calculator. So come over. By the way, if there's any other tabs open, get rid of them. They will cause you nothing but grief. Make sure you're only on tab 1.1. We call X. We call this Y. 0, 2, 0, 2, 5, 9, 14, 14, 17, 19. And then I'm going 750, 451, 219, 84, 25, 12, and 8. So the question says it wants us to do exponential regression. Exponential regression. So what? So we're going to do, we're going to come back to our calculator. Oops, that's not our calculator. We're going to go back to our calculator. We're going to go menu, statistics, stat calculations, and you're going to go all the way down here to A, which is exponential regression. You need to tell it what your two lists are, X and Y, and click OK. Now, you'll notice that you can't really see all these numbers. You have to be able to write them down. Part of your work is writing this down. If you click here, you'll notice right here on the bottom, it has it all highlighted for you. So 733. So I got to write down, okay, my equation's going to look, where the heck's my mouse? Oh. My equation's going to look like this. Y equals A times B to the X. Now, one of the biggest mistakes is not putting this Y because you don't see it here. All right, so you need to write down what A is equal to. And I would say at least 6 decimals. So 733, not 6 numbers, 6 decimals minimally. 64581. 64581. 406. And then write down what B is, unrounded. 0.78649. 0.78649. 0433. Now I got to figure. They want us rounding it to the nearest thousands place. So that's 3 decimals. So this is the one we have to decide on. So we're going to write that out. Now, again, most kids, if they're going to lose points, forget to write an equation, which is a Y equals 733.646 0.786 to the X. Now, I always put that B in parentheses. I just think it looks nicer. All right, that's part A. Part B says, what is it going to be in 2002? Well, we had a lot of kids that couldn't figure out that this was 1990. So this was 91, this was 95, this was 99, this was 2004, this is 2007, and this is 2009. So I want 2002. So that means my X value has to be 12. So that was part of figuring out that part of the problem. So now I just found Y equals 733.646. 0.786 to the 12. Now, whatever answer I come up with should be almost halfway between these two. Well, probably closer to the 25, but it should be somewhere in between those. If you get something that's not in between those, you did something wrong. So you come over to your calculator. Why do I keep clicking on that? So calculator 733.646. 646 parentheses 0.786 parentheses raised to the 12th. And I get 40.790. Oops, that's erase. So Y equals 40.790. And they want us to round it to the nearest integer. So my answer is Y equals 41. All right, that was 4 points. I think we're back to 2-point questions now. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We're going to be doing this again, so just clear out everything. We're going to be doing another regression this time. So we got altitude versus ozone units. And it looks like we're doing another exponential regression. There it is, exponential regression. So we'll just take out our calculator. I don't know why I keep bringing this up. Go away. I don't like you. So let me get my... see what I can do here. Again, we're going to call it X and Y. Just makes it easy. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. Biggest mistake made is typing in the numbers wrong. 0.7, 0.6, 1.1, weird. 3.0, I don't need to put that in. 4.9. All right, we're going to do exponential regression, and we want the equation. So we go to menu, stats, stat calculations. I clicked on the wrong one. Menu, 4.1, an exponential regression, right? Isn't that what they want? Exponential regression. One list is X. The other list is Y. Why do we have to do this, Mr. Krause? Now, again, you can always do this. You can always click and hold and then drag it, get a little hand and drag it to the right. But you should round right down. Especially on a 2-point question, you need to say, okay, my equation is going to be Y equals A times B to the X, where A is. You have to show work. How else are you going to get 2 points? 0.4881560. So 0.4881560. And B is 1.116, 306. Don't miss a number. So, I mean, it's so easy to do. We want to round to the nearest thousandths place. That's 3 decimals. So the good news is, I'm not rounding. Y equals 0.488 parentheses 1.116 to the x. That's it. A cup of soup is left on a countertop. A cup of soup is left on a countertop. And there is the regression for the temperature. Notice their temperature is coming down. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got to write a regression equation for this. So just go back in, of course. X and Y. And we're going 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Biggest mistake made, not typing the numbers in properly, children. 180.2, 165.8. We had kids just type in, we had to figure out what they did. They just slightly typed in a number wrong. Most of the time we couldn't figure it out. And they got this wrong. I mean, you get 1 point out of 2 because you put 127.8 there instead of 127.7. I mean, that's how sensitive this is going to be. So if you type in the wrong number, you are going to get the wrong answer. So just be very careful. Test it twice. Do the problems twice. Oh, I get stressed out enough. It's so much work, Mr. Krause. I don't want to do that. Stat calculations. We're doing exponential regression again. You'll notice they ask that a lot. They ask a lot. These are all straight off old Regents exams. And again, we can use your calculator or you can just highlight it. But again, it's a 2-point question, so you should write y equals a times b to the x. Show your work. Tell the grader, okay, the a value is right here, 1.376,870, at least 6 decimals, minimally. And then the b value is, so b value is 0.953, 869. 869. Now we want to round the nearest thousandths place. So again, that's 3 decimals. So this one we're going to be doing a little bit of rounding. We got both of them we got to round. So 180.379. Ooh. I did not get those answers when I did it on my calculator the first time. So 0.954. I did get this, but I did not get 377. I wrote 377, not 379. Oh, yeah, look at that. I screwed up. Look, I did it before. This is a different kind of problem. This just gets rounded to a 7, so this shouldn't be a 7. It should be an 8. It should be a 7. I was rounded to 10,000ths place and missing a number. All right, there's your answer, kids. All right, moving on. Now we're to the 4-point questions. I'll pause and I'll be right back. You won't even notice I'm gone, but I'll make a different face. See, right now I'll make totally different face. I told you it was going to be a different face. Okay, now we're doing 4-point questions. And I didn't leave you a lot of room here, and I apologize for that. Hopefully you got a little room off to the side. But these are going to be a little bit more, more difficult, slightly more. There's easier places to make mistakes. They're going to ask you more questions. So just be aware of that. So here's our sample, and we're going to do, oh, look at that, exponential regression again. They love exponential regression. Oh, man, I don't know why that happened. They love exponential regression. So let's get started on some exponential regression. So we'll go over to our calculator. Of course, this thing just keeps coming up. Oops. Again, if somebody else's crap is in there or if it's not cleared out, it should be cleared out. Make sure it's all nice and fresh. X and Y. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's easy. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully you get those down. That's 6. And then 250, 330, 250, 330. Oops, right here. 580, 800, 1650, and 3000. Go back up. There. Then we're going to go into menu 4, 1, and we want exponential regression. So we'll call our first list X, our second list Y. Boy, this sounds familiar. Click OK. Write down all the information. So 215, 982. A equals, I didn't leave you any room, 215, 982, 802. And B is equal to 1.652, 231. And we want to round to the nearest thousands place. And again, thousands place is 3 decimals. Got a little bit of rounding to do. So I end up with Y equals, don't forget the Y, second biggest mistake. First is not typing in the numbers right. Second is forgetting that Y. Y equals 215. I've actually had kids write this perfectly over here and transpose it wrong. Don't do that either. 983. Parenthesis 1.652 to the x power. Make sure it looks like an exponent. So all we want to know about 7 hours. So 7 hours, it should be more than this, right? A lot more than this. It's almost doubling every time. So let's see what we got. So we're going to have Y equals 215.983. You must show this work. It is not good enough just to write down what number pops up on your calculator. You have to show it how you're entering in the number 7. So we'll come over to our calculator and we're going to go 215.983, 215.983, parentheses, 1.652, parentheses, raised to the 7th power. That is not what I got at all before, but oh wait. Oh yeah, 7 hours. We want to do 7 hours. Okay. So Y equals, I got this. So 7252, so 7252.5356. Now this is what New York State loves to do. They love to trick you. Look what here it says here. Round to the nearest 10. That's not the tenths place. That says nearest 10. And this is the number in the tens place. So you're rounding to the nearest tens. Your answer has to be 7250. And that is your answer. All right, be careful with the rounding. Lots of places to make goofy mistakes. You don't want to make goofy mistakes. Man, that's annoying. All right, let's get going on this one. Oh, look, exponential regression again. So weird. Why do I keep bringing you up? All right, so get rid of this, new, yes. All right, call one X, call one Y. And what we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty easy. 4.2, 33.5, 113.1, 268.1, oops, 523.6, 523.6. All right, so there it is. Hopefully we got it right. We'll go in here. We go to menu, stats, stat calculations, exponential regression again. It doesn't really matter. They're always done the same way. Click OK. Show your work. So we need to figure out what A is. A is 2 point. So A equals 2.119. 4748800. 4748800. Good enough. What's B equal to? 3.2320. 3.2320. 29158. 29158. I'm going to round to the nearest hundreds place. Don't forget the Y equals. Most common mistake, putting in the numbers wrong. Second common mistake, forgetting the Y. Don't do that. 2.19. Whoa, hundreds place. There it is. 2.19, parentheses, 3.23 to the X. There was no rounding on that one. That was sweet. Now comes the hard part. Now it's a tricky question. Now it says, using this, when will what value of x would make it y equal to 426? Now, 426 is right about here. Somewhere in between 4 and 5 should be my answer. Now, if you can't figure out a way to get between 4 and 5, you did something wrong. So, we're going to use this equation, but for y, we're going to put in 426.21 is equal to 2.19 3.23 to the x. Now, while this is a relatively simple equation to solve, oh my God, if you don't like logs, it's not. Because this is an exponential equation. It's an exponential regression, so that makes it an exponential equation. The only way to solve an exponential equation is to use logs. But the first thing you have to do is get the weird thing alone. And here's the weird thing. So we're going to get that weird thing alone by dividing by 2.19. So we go to our calculator and we go 426.21 divided by 2.19. Now you're going to get some long answer, 194 point. So you get 194. Write it all down. You cannot round until the very end of the problem. 616,438. 616,438. 356 is equal to 3.23 to the x. Now, if you don't know how to solve logarithmic equations, make sure you go back and watch the log one. That's going to be a really long video because there's lots and lots of questions on Algebra 2 Trig Regents about logs. But when you're solving the logs, it's all about that base, about that base, about that base, all about that base. So we want to convert it into a log function. Here's the base. So what we're going to do is we're going to write log base 3.23. Now these two things switch. Whenever you're going to solve these, the x and this switch. So the 194.616,438,356 goes here, equals x. That's how you do it. It's called change of base. All right, we're going to rock it out. Log, control log 3.23. Oops. 3.23. Oh my goodness, what the heck? Control log 3. Why is it going there? 3.23. There we go. Of the answer, which is just this thing. And it equals 4.4956. So x equals 4.495617. 5617. Round to the nearest tenths. And I get x equals 4.5. Wow. So if you could have gotten lucky, I guess, but there it is. It had to be between 4 and 5, and we got 4.5. That was a tough question. Not gonna lie, that was a tricky question. All right, kids, I'll be back. Told you I'd have a new face. Isn't that weird? You're like gone for like no time. I'm gone for like a minute. Just take care of that problem. All right, here we go. A population of a single cell organism grown in a petri dish over a period of 16 hours. The number of organisms in a given record ends here. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look. Exponential regression. Now, again, I didn't pick these. These are the problems that New York State picks over and over and over again. That's why I kind of like this test, sort of. It should be very simple for you to pass because you're doing the same thing over and over again. So let's see what we got. We got X, we got Y, and we're going to go 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then they decide to be jerks and go 16 instead of 14 just to see if they can fool with you. You see what I'm saying? Right here, right? They got 12 and then 16. Ah, I got you, kid. Haha, New York State kid. We don't like you. We just tricked you. Ha. Whatever. Be careful. Just don't fall for the stupid stuff. What the heck is that? That is why you do these problems twice. They're so easy. Do them twice. Yes, they take a little bit of time. Yes, you're going to be out a little bit later on a Friday. Who cares? When you can say, I rocked that test, and then you can send me a little note that says, Mr. Krause, I rocked that test. By the way, if you get 100 on this test, please send me an email and say, Mr. Krause, I got 100, and you helped. You'll go up on my wall of fame. I have a wall of fame on my website somewhere. There it is. Nope, not lifeguard schedules. Hall of Fame. I should call it the Wall of Fame. These are the only two kids in my 20 years of teaching that I've ever taught, they got 100, and they both got it last year. And then I helped a couple of other kids in New York State last year, right there, that got hundreds. Would you want to get on that list? Let me know. You're going to have to send me proof, though. In order to get a 100 list, you have to send me proof. So we're going to go menu, just a kind of snapshot of your final exam grade, or your screenshot of your grade on the computer. Exponential regression, once again, we called our list X, we called our list Y. I love to be able to help the kids get hundreds. Those are so hard to get. All right. So there's our numbers again. So we're gonna. Again, I didn't give you a lot of room on this one. Sorry. If you're following on my sheets, just use this up here. So A is equal to 27.202, 27.202, 511, and B is equal to 1.500, 1.50, 1.1. See, 1.15087. 8733. Okay, so our equation is y equals 27.2. What are we rounding to? 10 thousandths, 4 decimals. Holy crap. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I got to round out to here. All right, so what do we got? Blue. Y equals 20. My head's going to get away on this one. 20, 25, 1.15. Let's see, we're going out to this decimal. 09 to the x. Did I get that right? Oh, yes. All right. So it says, using this equation, predict the number of single-celled organisms to the nearest whole number in the 18th hour. So again, you have to show your work. By the way, did I write y equals? I hope I did. Yeah, I did. So I do y equals 27. It's 27.2025. Hitting the buttons. 1.1509 to the 18th. So now we got to grab our calculator and do that one. So calculator 27.2025 parentheses 1.1509, 1.1509 raised to the 18th power, 341.417. So y equals 341.417, 234. Round to the nearest whole number, y equals 341. Yay! How many minutes am I at? 4:33. We got time. How many problems we got? Oh, we're on the last problem. Oh, I add a little bit on this problem just for fun, but that's all right. We got enough time for this one. So this one's a little bit tricky. Again, it's another 4-point question, but it's kind of tricky because it says this right here. We got to I'm trying to write on stuff I can't write on. I got this weird thing right here. X equals 1 to represent the year 1986. That's right here, 1986. So what it's saying is use 1 to represent this. Okay, if that's 1, then this has to be 2, then this 3, then this 4, then this 5, then this 6, and this 7, and this 8, and this 9. So you can't use these numbers in our table. We have to use the numbers that we have starting with 1. Okay? So get back to our calculator. Gone. Don't want to save it. Go back. X and Y. And now we're going to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, 14, 27, 48, 80, 110, 153, 261, 403, 681. So we're going to go, oh, look, exponential regression again. I didn't pick these. They love exponential regression. Just picked the wrong one. Menu 41A. Should have that memorized by now. Click OK. We will write down exactly what they give us. So our equation is going to be y equals a times b to the x. A is equal to 10.5959922. 5959922. Is that right? 595992229. B is going to be equal to 1.586. 1.586. Triple check these numbers. Oh my gosh, it is so depressing to see kids get the wrong numbers here. 250. All right, we're going to round this to the nearest thousands place. That's 3 decimals. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So our final answer for this will be y equals 10.596 times 1.586 to the x. Now I added a part, and I said if this continues, approximately in what year will there be approximately 1,500? In what year would there be 1,500 stores? 1,500 new stores. So what we want to do is figure out in what year approximately would there be 1,500 new stores. We're going to take this 1,500. We're going to put it in for y, and we get 10.596, 1.586 into the x value. So we're going to solve for x. Again, it's an exponential function. We're going to end up solving it using logs. You have to isolate the weird thing again. We're going to do the same problem that we did before. So divide by 10.596, divide by 10.596. So we'll come over to our calculator. We'll go into calculator mode. 1,500 divided by 10.596. 141. I changed the problem up. 141.5628. 5628. 539. Now don't round until the very end. 1.586 to the x. It's all about that base, about that base, about that base. So we're going to do log, and it's going to be 1.586. That's a 1 right there. These two things switch, right? This is the base now with x. Now the base and the exponent switch. So 1.586 of 141.5628593 or 39. Doesn't matter what they're right there because I'm going to use my calculator. Right accurately is equal to x. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go log 1.586. 1.58. Here we go again. 1.586 of the answer. That's why I said it didn't really matter because I'm going to just type the answer in there. And I get 10.3738. So x equals 10.738. So that's 10 and a little bit more. So this is kind of a tricky question. That's why I want to ask it. It said in what year? So if you added 10 years, that would be 1995. But it'd be really close to 1996. So your answer has to be in 1995. Even though this rounds to 11, it will have reached 1,500 sometime during 1995. All right, kids, that's it. That's a new regression. Oh my gosh, 5 down, 6 to go. Keep checking back. There'll be more to show. Oh my God, I'm a poet. Didn't even know it. Get the flashcards. Start studying. And good luck, kids. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give me some comments, thumbs up, don't give me thumbs down. Why would you give me thumbs down? I'm working my butt off for you. All right, kids, bye-bye.